Poverty has long been linked with lower levels of intelligence, especially among children, but a new study has suggested its impact may depend on where you live. Scientists believe a person's intelligence is formed by a complex interplay between the genes they inherit from their parents and the environment they grow up in. But a study of twins has determined that childhood poverty appears to dampen down the potential contained within a person's genes, and the situation varies from country to country. The study, conducted by researchers at University of Texas at Austin and the University of Edinburgh in Scotland, found people born in the US tend to suffer the effects of poverty more. Elsewhere, the link between poverty and a lower IQ was less noticeable in Western Europe and Australia, and in fact the opposite may be true in the Netherlands. The study, which is published in the journal Psychological Science, analyzed the findings of 14 peer-reviewed papers. Combined, they drew upon almost 25,000 sets of twins and siblings from the US, Australia, England, Sweden, Germany and the Netherlands. The researchers said the differences between the US and European countries may be due in part to more universal access to healthcare, which has helped to close some socio-economic gaps. Differences in the education systems in the countries may also play a role. The researchers behind the study added that the results could prove useful in helping to tackle gaps between socio-economic groups. They said that providing more uniform access to education and healthcare can counter and even reverse the negative effect of poverty on genes involved in IQ. Professor Timothy Bates, a researcher in the School of Psychology at Edinburgh and co-author of the study, said, "Once such characteristics are identified, they could inform policies directed at narrowing test score gaps and promoting all of the positive consequences of higher IQ, such as health, wealth, and progress in science, art, and technology." Poverty affects brain development. Low socioeconomic status has long been tied with negative impacts on health. But the harmful effects of poverty may reach even deeper than intelligence, affecting the development of the brain itself. A recent study in the US found that low-income environments can be associated with neurological impairment. Scientists at the National Institutes of Health analyzed data from a large study following the development of children from their pregnancy through to 7 years of age, with parents grouped as either low, middle, or high income. When the babies were born, no obvious differences were found between the groups in terms of neurological defects were found, despite their socioeconomic differences. But as the children aged, researchers found that the risk of developing abnormalities increased in the most disadvantaged children. At 4 months old, the lowest income children's chance of a neurological defect was almost 13% compared with just over 9% for the highest income children. However, by the time the children were 7 years old, the risk for the poorest children jumped to more than 20%, while it increased only slightly for the least disadvantaged children, 13.5%. The findings are published in the International Journal of Epidemiology. The study was aimed at exploring the interaction between genes and childhood social factors. The analysis showed a relationship between poverty and intelligence was much more variable in the US than in Australia or Western Europe. In the Netherlands, there was evidence to suggest the opposite is true. The hypothesis that the genetic influence on intelligence depends on socioeconomic status was not supported in studies outside of the US, said Dr. Elliot Tucker-Drob, co-author and researcher in lifespan development at the University of Texas at Austin.